Alright, basically in this video right here, forget what this idiot is saying, because he's full of crap, okay? He's telling you where you can get your coffee, sweetmarias.com, and he's going to bring it out, and he's going to show you the green coffee, and just kind of warm you up to the idea that drinking coffee that's fresh, and that is freshly roasted, is a much better option and a fun hobby to add to your life. And so basically, we're going to walk through the steps exactly how to do that. Again, at sweetmarias.com. You got your whirly pop and you have your grill from outside. That will be the next scene coming up. Okay, what we have here is I'm just telling you just the basics. You can get really nerdy with this stuff about temperatures and all that, and I've kind of learned how to smell it and the smoke that's there involved. So here I'm going to give you the video of exactly how we're going to do it. Okay, so that's the whirly pop. Usually I heat it up just a little bit, not too much. Back in the day, I'd get it to 400 degrees. They'd tell you to put a little hole in the top of it to put a thermometer so you gauge the temperature and all that. And it's not wrong. It's actually correct, especially if you don't know what you're doing. You don't want to burn a batch. So what I do is I just barely heat it, and or I just kind of get it warmed up, get it juicy. First, I'll grab it, and see I'm getting it a little hot right there. Then I grab it, and I kind of get the old husks out. So I'm gonna go on out here, dump it out a little. You just can't really see it that much, but just a couple little, whatever. Make sure everything's jiving. Put it back on there. I just kind of let it sit for a couple minutes. I used to wait till it heated up to like 425, but then and then I would throw it in, and then it would cool down. I'd watch the temperature, and I'd get anxiety because it wasn't hot enough, and it's going to ruin the batch. But I also let it heat up sometimes, and there's a little plastic thing right there that would heat up and freaking melt. Some of them are not plastic though. So anyway, I just throw it on there. This is real time here, so you kind of see what I'm doing. Get my little coffee bag. I do smaller batches now because the bigger batches I thought bogged down the machine a little bit. So I kind of go for half. In this case, it was a little more than half. And I immediately start turning it. Back in the day, I would do it slower. But now I do it faster. And it's not obviously at 425 at this point. It's probably at nothing. It's probably at 80 or something. But I just keep it rolling, keep it consistent. And because it's a smaller batch, it heats up faster anyway. So I'm like totally cool with this. And I think I'm going to cut the video here shortly because it's kind of boring. But the heat's on high. I just put it on high, and I'm just going. I'm smelling it, smelling the atmosphere. If I get a little nutty and I want it, and I don't know exactly where I am or I've lost my train of thought, I might open it and look at it. But mostly, once it starts going, um, I will smell it. I'll use my smeller to smell to where the roast is. And it's like a feel, and I know how I like it. I don't like it too strong. I like it more of like a city roast. So I'm going here, and the video's going to cut off, or it's going to splice, and it's probably literally only like a minute that I wait for the next portion of the video. And here's just my little shot of how I capture my state-of-the-art video. Right here. If it gets smoky, you could just put the goggles on. GoPro is in full motion. So I'm going, I'm moving here, and it's cracking. It's crack-a-lacking. It's starting to do. You see the smoke coming up? And I see how I stopped. I shouldn't stop. But I turn down the heat after about 20 or 30 seconds. I hear it pop like popcorn. I turn down the heat on low, and I keep her cranking. And by now, the neighbors are like, "What is going on? It smells like heaven." And so you just let it go. And if you get a little nervous, like I am now because I haven't been paying attention, I'll go in there and I'll just kind of look. I don't like to open it because to me, holding that smoke in there is just roasting her up good. Okay? So you're just moving along. And we're what? We're probably 6 minutes into this thing, from start to finish of even this video. So I'm going. Got Max there kind of helping me out, kind of just making sure, everything's going smooth. And I'm going to take it a little peek. I'm like, all right, you know what? This is getting dark. And one thing you got to notice, or that you should notice, give it a little shake. I'm done. Why? Because it's about where I want it, maybe a little lighter, but it's going to darken up. As it cools, it darkens up a little bit more. So this process is really fun. And that left thing that I have there is not ideal. The hole's not big enough, and I spill some beans. But get a bigger hole like that one, and then it'll get the husks off of there, the chaff of the things that's not needed. Even though if you had some in those are going to burn out anyway. It's not a big deal. But this is cooling it also. It's cooling the beans. And so you're doing this, and it's better when you have two of the big mouths because you can see the husks kind of coming off. But I'm a little safe when I pour it that way. So, but then when I pour it here, I try to open it up and let those husks fall off, and it's cooling. So I do this for a while until not a lot of those husks are floating in the wind. And do this, and the smell is just from heaven at this point. So I'm doing this, kind of putting out the vibes. You can see in the light there some of those husks that kind of fall off. That's all good. 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 Yeah. So you kind of get the picture. And you'll get a rhythm of it, especially if you have two that are matching. I think it's much better. So I'm putting it in the light there to let you and Max see. It's about right. It's not as quite even as I like it. Probably because I stopped. Literally, I stopped that one thing. But to keep it consistent. This is definitely on the lighter side. So I kind of keep them separated. And then I put them here. I'm just going to let them cool. We'll let them cool for a bit. Max is helping. He's going to come inside now. He's like super pumped. It's getting dark outside. The girls are inside doing their homework. And that's about it. So just want to thank you for joining this video. If you have any questions, you can give me a call. You know how to reach me. Come on, Max. Let's go to the house. Come on, buddy.